God we are alive. Welcome to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And of course, I want to also say welcome to Martyrs on this dial. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude, and today we'll be talking some political matters, okay? Like pressing, important, very urgent political matters. And to discuss that with me is the former Commissioner of Police, Chuks Enwonwu. He is here, right here in the studio. Good afternoon to you, CP.
Good afternoon to you and to the listeners.
Good to have you join us again today.
Thank you.
All right. Let's start from here. iNEC is to, prosecute about 215 electoral offenders. But before I bring you in, let me also let you know that we're streaming live. I like you when you go join us on YouTube and watch us live, and also get to drop your own comment, okay? Kindly go there, YouTube, VOP 90.3 FM, and of course, drop your comment as quickly, okay? As quickly as possible. And don't also forget that we can join the conversation via WhatsApp. That is 0700 903 9039. Again, 0700 903 9039. And when the time is right, we get to open up the studio lines, and so you can join the conversation live. But for now, let's get talking with a former commissioner of police. Now, CB, the Independent Electoral Commission, iNEC, said it has received 215 case files from the Nigerian police in respect of electoral infractions during the 2023 general elections. iNEC Mahmoud Yakubu stated this during the review of the general election. According to him, he said that the commission is working with the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, to prosecute the electoral offenders, adding that the NBA has provided 427 lawyers to help prosecute the case or the cases free of charge. Free of charge, The big deal is that iNEC is now saying that they want to prosecute 215 electoral offenders. For you, CP, do you think this is coming, at the right time?
Yes, it is. It is coming at the right time in the sense that you don't just sorry cases to court. Otherwise, you're going to ridicule such cases. You do the needful. You do your preliminary investigations, then do a bit of progress on the preliminaries. In other words, you need to get all the sides for their statements so that such people will, at the end of the day, be in the court as prosecution witnesses. Then you have to get all the material evidence required to prove your case. Then at the end of the day, you now conclude the investigations and possibly send it for legal opinion to lawyers who are in the office of the Director of Public Prosecution,
but for
Federal Ministry of Justice. That's why it takes this time.
But for some Nigerians, it's taking, it's rather too long,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
How many months now, and you just
No, that's what I'm saying.
Just 215.
Well, those 215 are the ones they have all the ingredients to prove the offense, the witnesses, the material evidence, and exhibits and everything. Maybe there may be more to this. There may be more other cases, but those other cases may neither be here nor there. They could be on the borderline. So rather than charging every case that comes to you to court, you might end up ridiculing yourself. And, a situation where an institution like iNEC will get there and end up losing those cases. So these 200 and something are the ones they are sure possibly they will get conviction on them. Because it appears those ones are too glaring. And the witnesses are all over there ready to testify. So in the eyes of the public, many of them who are not properly informed in processes of investigation and prosecution may think it is taking such a long time. There are some cases that will take you years to even get to the conclusion. And you can't charge them halfway, because if you charge them halfway, the court will throw it out for want of prosecution or for lack of evidence.
Even a case of this magnitude?
Well, it depends. You see, those cases are isolated cases. You may see it in large magnitude because it is either presidential or, gubernatorial or National Assembly elections. Mm-hmm. But they are not taking them as per the election. They are taking them as per the individual's, commitments vis-a-vis the offenses which are possibly against the electoral laws, what we call electoral malpractices. So you need to get all the necessary evidence and have the witnesses that will be there to come and give evidence. That's what you usually make it to take this length of time.
Now, do you think these people should be prosecuted openly? I mean,
why not?
So Nigerians can see.
The Nigerians will see. You don't try them in camera. What are you trying them for in camera? When people who have even committed heavier offenses, people that have committed capital offenses are tried openly, then talk of their own. Their own is not there is not in any way capital offense. So, I mean, it also depends too on their defense counsels, because they will also go and bring lawyers who will be looking at all the facts you are presenting to see whether there are loopholes to get the man scot-free or get him out of it.
Now, some persons might opine that, okay, why not look at these prosecution, state by state, and let's know, especially some persons who won't even know more about Lagos State, how Lagos State is going to prosecute, election offenders,
Well, they have not brought out the details, so people should not just jump into conclusion. By the time they bring out the details, we'll see the breakdown, how many states the arrests were made, and then we can now narrow it down to Lagos to know the number that we are apprehended and investigated in Lagos. In as much as from what we saw on the television and the social media, a lot happened in Lagos, but not just a question of a lot happening. How many were you able to apprehend? If you cannot apprehend, then the case will neither be here nor there. It is, even if you capture in camera, have you been able to narrow down to those suspects to apprehend them? And then by the time you apprehend them, where are the witnesses? Where are the victims? And so on and so forth. So it's not an easy thing. Some people could be committing atrocities. As soon as they see the law enforcement officers and the military coming, they'll just disappear into thin air. So that thing you have captured is only a video or photograph. The question is, how do you identify the perpetrators? How do you trace them? That's another bit to it. It will take you a long time, because somebody can live in Ojo and go as far as Be or Badagry to go and commit electoral malpractice. And by the time, because he's paid, he's a hireling, as soon as the jungle matures, everybody will find his level. So before you can look for the man, he has disappeared. You will only be carrying video. And people around them may not even know him to say, no, we know this man, that's his house, or the area he stays in. Many of them are strange higher talks and touts for the purpose of the election. So they can take them to different places. Once they see money, they enter the vehicle and move. They don't even know where they are taking them to go and cause havoc. And they will just brief them quickly that, look, what you're going to do is when you get there, if it is possible, pour acid on people and everybody will run for his dear life. You grab it, you snatch the ballot box, just throw it into the vehicle, off we go. You say, is that all you want? Yes. Back with the go now. You just collect his advance, put in the pocket. From the past experiences we've had in the past elections. That's their modus operandi. So it is not easy to grab that thousands. I'm sure people will have been expecting thousands to have been thousands of cases. It may still increase as time goes on.
One other case I would love you to speak about is the issue of the suspended Adamawa wreck. Nothing has been heard so far, and some persons are already insinuating that maybe some one or two has gone underground, and
No, nothing has gone underground. They should exercise patience. Some of those cases are done codedly. You don't need to be coming out.
But why?
The reason is that it can jeopardize the investigation. If you begin to come and tell them all your details, it's never done. You are letting the cat out of the bag. You are now giving them clues to go and know areas to go and block and to know the direction your investigation is going. So you don't do you don't make such mistakes. You don't do things like that. It will be undercover until you have actualized or achieved what you expected to get at the end of the investigation.
Now, let's quickly move. The presidential election petitions court, yesterday admitted the final report of the European Union Observation Commission, or rather mission, the EU EOM, on February the 25th presidential election. Now, the court admitted the evidence despite vehement objection. Of course, there were several objections, This came as Conference of Nigerian Political Parties, CNPP, applauded the report, saying it would deepen democracy in Nigeria. In a statement signed by, the Deputy National Publicity Secretary, James Ezema, CNPP said those who are kicking against the report are doing so based on their political considerations and conveniences. What do you have to say about this, Siki?
No, it's okay. It is left for the Election Petition Tribunal to know the type of evidence they will accept and the ones they will not. So since this one from EU is a very material evidence, naturally they are expected to accept it. And that they did, squarely, without minding whose ox is gored. And like some of the analysts had come up, that there will be resistance or opposition to that. And like you just read out, those ones who are doing that are doing it for their own conveniences, because in the two sides of the divide, you will always have those that will be in support and those that will be against. And obviously, those ones that will be against believe so much that there is a stake. They have so much stake to lose if at the end of the day, the tide turns against them. And that is why they are putting up such resistance. And they have to get sound solicitors, obviously, to look for a way to knock off that type of evidence, because the evidence seems to be very heavy, before the tribunal.
I've asked several questions, before as regards the operations of iNEC, after an election, if we've had something like this, what iNEC is doing currently, the way iNEC has been shielding, fighting and protecting a certain, a certain political party or a certain set of people, a certain group, after the election. I've asked several questions. Have we seen something like this before? I mean, has there been a situation where we see iNEC coming all out, to protect the interest of a particular set of people?
Obviously, I think what they are doing is damage control, more or less, because iNEC as an institution is seen allegedly as having compromised their integrity by public opinion, both at home and abroad. So for them to keep quiet means that they have already accepted for wrongdoings. So in as much as there is that perceived wrongdoings, they will do everything humanly possible to, straighten the bent corners of the rough edges to make it smooth. And that's exactly what is playing out now. You don't expect them to come out totally and say, look, we have done it wrong. In fact, we didn't do the right thing. Nobody will come up to say that, especially when it is a national institution. That is why they are doing everything possible to see how they will wriggle out of this tight corner that they have been boxed to.
So it's not about INEC protecting a certain candidate.
No. They are trying to protect their own institution.
But it's glaring. I mean, it's glaring. Nigerians have been saying, hey, the way and manner you guys handle this election is a no. So it's not about protecting or trying to, get back your reputation, or how do I put it?
No, I think the thing borders on reputation, on the integrity of INEC, being impartial and being neutral. That they are trying to prove to them that they are not even worth staying one day further in that place. In other words, the reaction of the public is such that they should overhaul the place, maybe from top to bottom, should be eased out. And maybe fresh people should be brought in.
And I ask you if that can happen in this country of ours.
Well, anything can happen. You can't predict. The society is dynamic. Whatever happens yesterday, you cannot hold seriously to it. Something different could happen in future. So people should not give up hope. They should just continue to watch events unfold itself. There are those ones that are very, very grievous and manifestly obvious that everybody is watching to see how it will play out. To know whether at the end of the day, at the end of the day, let's see how the decision will be. That's what everybody is patiently waiting for now.
I spoke with on this platform last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I spoke with someone who told me that when it comes to election, that Abuja should be considered, or Abuja is considered as another state, and that's what some persons have been pushing, taking Abuja as a state in terms of election, so that it doesn't really matter if this 25% we've been talking about, it doesn't really matter. It's like a state. And for me, I want to ask you, what say you? Should we follow that?
From judicial precedents, that issue had come up in 2003, came up again in 2007. In 2003, the argument was that Chief Olusegun Obasanjo shouldn't have even been declared winner of that election because he did not win FCT. Okay. Then the Supreme Court made it clear that they are not talking of who wins FCT. They are asking, the argument is whether the man made his 25% or not. And the answer was positive, that Obasanjo made above 25%. So that now knocked off the challenge of Muhammadu Buhari. The same thing repeated itself in 2007. They said Yaradua did not win the same FCT. And they made it clear that so long as he has hit above 25%, and overall he had the leading score, it was in order for him to be declared. Those two, I believe, will answer this your question. So I don't want to comment because it's sub judice. As this one is going on, let us see how it will also play out. I've just given you instances of two. And those two are there for the records. For anybody that is interested, let him go and pick it up and read. Yes.
I understand that this case is in court.
It is.
And a whole lot of persons wouldn't want to
Go into
go
details.
into or comment.
Yes, no comments on
but,
that.
however, some persons have also opined that the EU report
Yes.
is really not too straightforward. Some persons have said they are really not too sincere, kinda. And there is a little that they kind of bias, in their reports.
How? Let them.
They're not sincere. They are kind of a little bit partial, and all of this.
Let them emphasize. Let them be more emphatic. Let us know the area they quarrel with on the report of the EU. Even the government is not happy with that report from EU. And that is why even the iNEC too are not happy that they came up with such report. But those people sat down and looked at all sides to it. Before they can issue such report, they must have gone the whole hog. And probably the way they presented it was a bit light. Maybe Nigerians were expecting the thing to be very, very heavy. But this thing is the diplomatic thing. The EU, not being Nigerian, they are observers from the European Union as a community. So they would not want something that will inflame the already exacerbated situation that is prevailing in the country. So that is why they have mildly done that bit or that piece of reports. But if you look in between the lines, it is so glaring that they have sent the message. Okay. That is it. They didn't want to begin to hit the thing, in such a way that people will jump up and begin to look for arms to enter the street. They were very, very diplomatic about it. That's what they call international diplomacy. They believe that it is your own internal matter as Nigerians. If you want to set the place ablaze, do it. Don't call EU to be the ones that have ignited problems for you.
I have spoken with, on this platform still, I've spoken with, several, okay, let me not mention names now.
Okay.
Anyway. But I've spoken with a whole lot of persons from the All Progressives Congress.
Yes.
Who told me that the election was free, was fair, and was credible.
What do you expect?
It wasn't fraudulent.
What do you expect? If you are favored, let me ask you now. You are assuming you are a politician, and your party is favored. Do you look at? Do you begin to say no? That my party shouldn't have won this election. What do you expect? The party members will be opening champagne and be celebrating. The most important thing is that they have been announced to have been the winners. So do you expect them to come and begin to criticize the process? It is not possible. It's a natural reaction, a natural phenomenon that you will toe that line. It is only the opposition that will come out, and maybe the masses, the electorate, that will come out and say, no, something is wrong, fundamentally wrong, and begin to point out the wrongdoings. The man whose party has been declared, what does he lose? If you say that he has not won, he will tell you to keep quiet. If you feel aggrieved, go to court and prove it. So that's where we are now.
A whole lot of them will tell you, well, that one of the reasons why they can tell you that the election was free and fair, was credible, was because Ashiwaju Tinubu, lost in his own stronghold.
Yes, yes.
That he didn't win Lagos.
Yes.
And so why would you say that if someone like Tinubu didn't win Lagos, where he has been for years and been governor?
That is myopic for somebody to just draw that type of conclusion. That's not sufficient.
You think so?
Yes, of course. It's not sufficient. As far as elections are concerned, if election is conducted and it is manifestly obvious that the electorate are satisfied, because we are looking at it, it is the electorate that should be the focus. They are the ones that will put you there. That they are satisfied that their votes have spoken, then you're good to go. Even if it is not 100% satisfied, you're good to go. But when a lot of people are cold, and to them it seems to be so glaring that there has been manipulations or that a lot of figures have been juggled or tampered with, and they are bringing out evidence to prove that, then you cannot just throw away this evidence. You need to look at it, collate it, synthesize it, analyze it, and bring out the truth, remove the chaff from the wheat, and then tell us what you have been able to bring out of it. So that's the process we are going through now. Obviously, at the end of the day, it will favor one side, and the other side will be at disadvantage. Yes.
VOP 90.3 FM. Now, let's also talk about the fact that, okay, several times I've asked this question, if it is actually possible to unseat a sitting president in Nigeria, you know. And some people, I remember I've asked you this question, I think, you know, and you said it has happened before, you know. That was a state level.
Yes.
Yes. But we're not asking now. Though
at the federal,
the case is in court.
It is in court.
Looking at it,
yes.
Do you think that's actually possible? When we ask this question, sometimes some people feel, hey, these guys, they just want to know. No. We're just trying to look at the possibilities of, okay, this happening, that not happen, you know, that not happening. Then all we want is a better Nigeria.
Yes,
that's
of
why we're
course.
asking these questions.
It depends. Very soon, we'll be getting to the end of the tribunal sitting, and they will reel out a decision. They will come up with their judgment. And depending on the weight of evidence before them, they will give their decision. And I'm sure if they give their decision, that may not even be the final bus stop. One of the parties that is not pleased with it will obviously go on appeal. The whole thing will end at the Supreme Court. So anything is possible. That's just the truth of the matter. Anything is possible. And you find out that the time being spent in the election one by one and all those ones they are doing it, tribunal has finished the job for them. It's only for them to review the case and give their final judgment. So people should be patient. We'll get there.
You know, the president has been accused of a whole lot.
Yes.
A whole lot.
Yeah, of course.
Tinubu is, Atiku is dragging on one side, Obi is on the other side.
It is natural in politics.
They spoke about the issue of...
a whole lot.
A whole lot.
Yes.
But then, well, I was talking about the 460
US dollars
forfeited.
Yes.
You know, some spoke about drug.
Yes.
Some said he had
double nationality.
And all of that.
So many, yes.
So all of these will still be considered.
Of course. So that's why I say Nigerians they shouldn't be in a hurry. Let us see the way the judgment will go.
Then on the part of iNEC, we're talking about the conduct of the election.
Yes.
And maybe that's why, no, just saying this anyway, that's why some people feel, okay, it has happened. Let's move on as a country.
Okay.
And let there be peace.
Yes.
And that's why I want to ask you, if we have good economic policies, we have
to get us off this monumental challenges.
Fine. Would it not be the same thing Obi wants to do when he becomes the president? Wouldn't it be the same thing Atiku wants as a president?
See, the
man seated, he is doing it already.
That is not the issue. The issue is we want to deepen democracy. And that's the beauty of democracy. That it is a process whereby they want it to be transparent. They want it to be devoid of manipulation. So if there are infractions that has been noticed and it is proven, then it does not really matter the outcome. That is where everybody is going to now. And that's why they are dragging the thing, whether it is Labour or PDP. They want the wrongs, if any. Listen to my words. Okay. They want the wrongs, if any, to be straightened. Let us have the right thing. The other ones, policy or no policy, the government is a continuum. Whoever continues will continue with the good work. Whether it is the city, or by peradventure it goes the other way, nobody is going to stop the moving train. The train will still move.
Then let's talk about how best, you think the federal government can address or review the electoral process in Nigeria. How best to review iNEC itself from top to bottom.
Well, as we speak, it is too...
Because so far, we still have
elections.
Yeah.
In Bayelsa.
And all of this.
And all those places. Imo.
And aside that, we also have the president's input in iNEC, directly or indirectly.
That thing you are asking of to be done to iNEC, this is not the right time to overhaul the place. Let us get up to Supreme Court, because anything you do now will not really speak well for the electoral body. And it will not, too, augur well for the coming elections. And Nigerians should be patient. All those things will take shape. After the Supreme Court judgment, we'll see some changes will be made based on the yearnings of the people. So the people shouldn't be so much in a hurry to get it done right now. No, this is not the right time.
One of the questions I'm asking is, how do we address the gaps in the electoral processes, to make our electoral system more transparent, more accountable, participatory, and to restore confidence in the process?
That is what I'm saying now, that this is not the right time. We are already, we have the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. It's ongoing. Then you tell me you're going to begin to overhaul iNEC. It won't augur well. Leave the thing. Let whatever you believe were the wrongs they've done or they are doing, just be piling it. There'll be time, there'll be a judgment day for those ones. Let us face the key issue. By the time we are done with this, maybe up to Supreme Court, even if the status quo remains, then Nigerians will now come out and say, clearly, you have to, if you want this place to get better, overhaul that place. These are our reasons. These are things we believe should be done. These are the principal officers and departments we are suggesting you should do away with all the people there for maybe compromise or for lack of trust, and they've lost confidence in them and all that.
Do you think this administration would want to, do that?
Let's get to the bridge first. Then we'll see how we'll cross it.
To overhaul iNEC or to do anything as
well. Let me even say one thing. You remember the time of Maurice Iwu? Professor Maurice Iwu, after he left, after his 5-year tenure, he left and Tahiru Jega came in. The sitting president then, late Musa Yaradua, Musa Yaradua, came out and said that the process that brought him was really flawed. That he will make sure he overhauls that place and improve the thing in subsequent elections. Although unfortunately he died before the 2011 election. And people didn't, there was no hues and cries about 2011 elections, except that some people, coppers and so on and so forth, were murdered out of anger that a candidate of a particular political party they had put so much confidence and trust ended up not getting the position of president in that 2011. But by 2015 was even much better, where the sitting president who was going for a second term lost his election. And he came and conceded because he didn't want any blood to be shed. So that was a plus for democracy. And who says more pluses will not come in the electoral system in Nigeria?
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. In case you're just tuning in, I want to say welcome. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude. And of course, I have with me a former commissioner of police here, CP Chooks in Womu. Check your time now. It is 1:57 p.m. Okay? But then don't worry, I'll get to open up the studio lines and so we can have your own participation. But don't forget to get to the comment section on YouTube. In case you're watching us live, go there and drop your comment so we can read it out loud. Okay? Just drop your comment there quickly. Don't forget the WhatsApp portal is also there. You can send your message there. Let's talk more. I got a document, saying that the Chinese government is offering Tinubu, a developmental model, a kind of a plan for Nigeria. And when I tried to get the opinions of some Nigerians, some it was laudable and some laughable. For you, how would you describe it?
No, it's you don't blame Chinese to come up with such a proposal because they have a lot of stake in Nigeria. You find out that the loans you're talking about, substantial part of it was from the Chinese government, the government and people of China. In addition to that, if you look at a lot of infrastructure that are already done and are still ongoing in Nigeria, it is the same Chinese. Look at all the airports. Look at the road constructions. They are doing this CCECC, that is Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Company. And a lot of them, they are all over the place. I mean, who want to put in his investments in an economy that will keep going down every other day, and you expect him to be happy? He will not come directly to confront you. He can, but he will come by the side and tell you, look, this is your problem, so we have a solution. Why don't we try out this model? Go and study it. Get your experts. Get the economists and those who are very sound in some of the technical areas. Let them guide you and see how it goes.
As a government,
yes,
if you take a model
yes.
from another country,
yes,
I mean, it goes a long way to show or to say that you don't have a model, you don't have a plan, you don't have the wherewithal to tackle that area. Instead, you're seeking. I mean,
no, but your problem has gone out of control.
And that's why some persons will tell you
your problem
that we're giving this country up to China.
It's not a question of giving it up to China. We need to be realistic and reasonable. We are talking of solution. Does it make sense that whatever you earn as your national revenue, you're using about 95% of it to service debts? So when and how are you going to come out of the doldrum? That's the question. So even if it is devil that will come and give you solution, well, you have no choice than to submit yourself and see how the magic will work. Because your own method has not worked. We have to tell ourselves the truth. The fact is that...
let's look at CP.
Yes.
Let's look at when Obasanjo came in.
Yes.
His economic plan.
Yes.
The way he brought in some persons who take charge of the economic team. You know, because when the likes of Okonjo-Iweala came in, Soludo, these guys came in. You understand?
And so on.
That is a plan.
Yes.
It's the people who, I feel, it's the people who are to manage the plan.
Yes.
Not just you having just a sketch.
No, they are not coming with sketch. Their plan is paperwork.
Okay.
Then when you get into the details, they'll tell you if you try it this way, try it that way, let us see the solution. Let us see the outcome. That we believe this is a solution for you. But whatever solution anybody is bringing, the country needs to tell themselves the truth. The cost of governance is outrageous. That's the first place I've been looking at, that they should touch. They should prune it down considerably. They should look at what some other nations are doing. Like recently, President Ruto of Kenya came up with a model to tell them that he has to close the gap between the ruling class and the working class. That he's going to approve, I think, about 10% increase salary for the working class. But for the political class, it is no. Nothing like even increasing any salary. Rather, he's even working on a pattern whereby they'll start cutting or reducing whatever they take home to collapse the gap, to shrink it. He was giving examples that all of them are buying from the same market. The product, like petroleum products, everybody is buying. They won't say, oh, because these people are working class, they are poor people, sell the food, have the price to them. Nothing like that. So why will you leave that gap to continue to widen? The earlier they handle that aspect, the cost of governance, the better for us. Let them start there. Then some of those luxuries people have been enjoying, free fuel, free electricity, free this and free that, they need to shrink them. They need to cut them down. Whether you're a minister, you're a legislator, you're this or you're that, they should, unless they don't want to survive. Because you find out that much of the borrowings they are doing has been going on conspicuous consumption. Ask me, what have they put in those funds on that we can see with our eyes? Okay. Apart from some of the infrastructure. Then if you want to put them on percentage basis, you see that if they had collected 100% of loans, maybe what they had put in infrastructure would not be more than 10-15%. So where is the other 85 to 90%? That's the question a lot of Nigerians should ask. You find out the thing has entered into running costs, operating costs, overhead costs, emoluments, allowances, ESTA codes, and all that. That's where the most of those funds had gone to. So with that, do you think you will survive?
You rightly mentioned that China is taking over.
They are not taking over. They're only guiding you. They are not taking over.
Okay, let me use your word.
Yes.
Guiding.
Yes.
And they are building structures in Nigeria.
They have put in so much.
So much.
Yes.
You mentioned airports and all of this.
Yes, roads, bridges, and so on and so forth.
Now, and we've borrowed a whole lot.
We've borrowed so much from China. Go and check.
And we might want to borrow, maybe.
Sorry?
We might want to also still borrow.
Of course.
From China.
Of course.
Okay. And here we're taking up a model.
Yes.
A development plan from China.
Of course.
Don't you see these as a form of a recolonization that we need as a people?
Whatever name you call it, the bottom line is that we need to grow the economy. The economy has degenerated so much. We need to pick up from the point we have reached. Before they will declare your economy as a failed state, it is getting to that point. So let us move up Let's start going back on the path of economic growth. That is just the direction everybody is looking at. And how do you do that? Throw away political consideration. Forget about party men. Look for technocrats. Look for very sound professionals. Okay. If it is possible, go and bring them from both World Bank, IMF, bring them from other financial institutions across the world to come and help you out. They will come, they will sit down as technical people and they will do a write-up that will shock everybody. And whatever they write and present to government, they are doing it for overriding public interest. They are not doing it for themselves. Okay. As experts you have brought in to help, re-engineer the economy. They are coming to help you to move up and move forward. And I think that should be the best way. It is not time for people to come and say, I contributed this to the party, I am so and so and so in the party, therefore I deserve to be this or that. When they now call you to give details of how you're going to move that ministry, department or agency forward and get it out of the mess, you wouldn't even have anything to offer. Except that by then you now tell us that you are a political appointee, that you have the bureaucrats and the technocrats who should know the workings, that they are the ones that will do the work. So your own is to answer Oga and chief executive. I don't think it will work well that way. So the earlier we get the round pegs and put in the round hole, especially in this scenario, the better for all of us.
Let's get to Zamfara quickly.
Yes.
Before we get to open up the studio line. So former governor of Zamfara State, Ahmed Yedima, has urged President Bola Tinubu to consider dialogue with bandits, to end insecurity in the northwest region. Dialogue, he means amnesty for bandits. I'm sure, several Nigerians watching us or listening to us right now will probably marvel at the statement asking for bandits. Asking for amnesty for bandits. What say you, CP?
It is ridiculous and preposterous for somebody who had been a governor of a state to come up with this type of propositions or proposals or whatever you call it. How can you say that? Means, does he know the bandits? Or is he trying to tell us that he knows the bandits? I mean, he needs to expatiate more on that statement, because that statement is weighty. So who will come out now and say he's a bandit and he's looking for amnesty? That is the question. So he shouldn't have even come in that direction at all. Rather, what he could have said is to advise his people or those so-called bandits that they should think twice. They should be looking for a way to encourage the internal security program that is designed for the Northwest, that is doing the ongoing fight there, to encourage them to sustain the war till they make sure they drive away those people, because it appears or seems those people are infiltrators from other, maybe West, North, and Central African states or nations.
Let me quote Yerima.
Yes.
He said the best way to go about handling the issue of bandits is to introduce dialogue first.
Dialogue with who? That's the question.
He said, but as I said, if that fails, then the government will go all out to eliminate them.
Where are the bandits? Will you accept to come out and say you are looking for amnesty, that you are a bandit? Where you come out to say you are a bandit, where are the arms you are using to commit the crime of terrorism and banditry? Then how did you get those arms? A lot of issues will start coming up. So nobody will even subject or submit himself for that kind of ridicule, because you are like giving up your trade secrets and your survival strategy as a criminal gang or men of underworld. So nobody will come out to do that.
Okay. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I want you to react to these actually, CP. I quickly want you to react to this.
Maybe West.
I'm trying to see how I can quickly roll in this audio and get your view on this. But it's as regards that Asari Dokubo.
Okay.
You know, you are a police personnel.
Yes.
And he made some inciting statements.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes.
And for some, it's considered a no-go area.
Possibly treasonable or something.
Treasonable.
Yes.
And he dared a whole lot of persons.
Yes.
And up until now, we've not heard or seen anything happen.
Yes.
What would you call that?
Well, everybody is still watching. Maybe the government have their reasons not to have taken action up till this moment. You know, some people make mistakes and talk too much. And when they talk, they make statements that they make utterances that possibly they underestimate the consequences or the elements or the weight of such comments. And I'm sure the government and the security circle would have been looking at a lot of things. I don't want to speak for government anyway. And they want to handle this thing because it's very, very sensitive. They want to handle it because of the sensitive nature very, very carefully. I don't want to go into details.
Okay.
But what the area I'm going to is that it's like in the police, they'll tell you that when you're holding egg, you need to be very careful because if you hold it tight, it squeezes. If you try to manage it, that it is delicate, and it falls out of your hand, it will still crash and will scatter. I think with that proverb, you now know where I'm going in respect of this issue.
Okay, let's even take a listen. Let's take a listen at let's listen to what he said again, and maybe we'll get the right.
I'm not afraid of arrest, but they will never arrest me because if they do, the consequences of my arrest, Nigeria will be history. I am saying it bold and clear without missing word that the consequences of my arrest, Nigeria will be history. The last time my arrest reduced Nigerian oil production to 700,000 barrels. This time it will be zero. And we will match violence by violence. We will match intrigues by intrigues. We match bullet by bullet. We match blood by blood. We are ready for them. Oh boy.
What would you? How would you describe?
That is exactly what I was saying before you played it. That when you're holding egg, you need to be very careful because if you hold it tight, it will squeeze. If you want to pet and hold it delicately and the thing falls, it will still crash. So I'm sure the security circle is going through all this. And
don't you consider these as a form of distraction, you know, for the new government?
It is, of course, it is. That's why I'm telling you that those concerned, it will be giving them some worries. And they need to approach it very tactically. They need to be very, very careful.
How so?
You know, sometimes you cannot throw away the baby with the bath water, no matter how it is. You manage to salvage the baby and just throw away the bad water. I don't know whether what I'm saying is making some sense. There are utterances people will make. Don't look at those utterances. You just think about it and walk along the line, the delicate line, so that the consequences of a rash action or rash decision will not spell doom at the end of the day.
Blood by blood, bullet by bullet.
That's what I'm saying. Are you still? Will you be looking in that direction? Is that what you want? with the situation we find ourselves in.
And this was the same man who said he supported, Tinubu during the election, before the election, during, and
My brother, my concern, we are talking of how to grow the economy. We should concentrate more on how to be sure that whatever level of oil production and OPEC had given to Nigeria, we should try to meet it, if it is possible to surpass it. Don't go into looking for just one person because he has made certain statements. In the process, that oil you're producing will now be endangered, that the thing will not flow again. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
You try to mitigate or control or checkmate that aspect. Or a situation, we are even trying to contain the oil theft. We'll be looking for a way to contain the oil theft. So even if it entails using the man and some other people like Tom Polo and so on and so forth, to be sure that this stealing of oil, crude oil, will come to a stop. Very fine. But don't go into confrontation with such a person. Because at the end of the day, the nation may one way or the other be the ultimate loser. There is a saying in my place that who is already on the ground fears no fall. So those are the sides and aspects of it you look at. And people will be expecting you to go ahead and show that you are this, you have the right and you have the might. I will not really support that. I will not advise in that direction either.
Let me quickly touch on Bauer. Yes. He's still with the DSS.
Yes.
The straight question is, release Bauer or charge him to court? Which one?
Is it only Bauer or Emefiele or both?
Let's talk about Bauer first. Okay, both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
It depends.
Because
maybe
this silence, we don't know.
No, you don't need to know. You are not part of the investigation. Investigations are not open for public. You only wait till the thing is finished. What you wait for is the outcome of the investigation.
But we're quick to investigate some issues, some matters.
Yes.
And keep some and hide some.
No, who is hiding what? Nobody is hiding anything. They are taking them one by one. There's no sacred cow. They are not hiding anything. The government is not hiding anything. They are visiting them one after the other. And those ones they have started with are the ones the evidence must have been overwhelming. They'll still touch others. Don't be in a hurry. Just relax. They'll get there. They'll go to all of them. I don't want to begin to give details.
This is Nigeria, CP.
Let us, is it not the same Nigeria that we are seeing these ones? More will come. More will come.
This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Yeah. Like I said, I want to read your comments, your views, your observations on YouTube. Exactly. On YouTube. We're streaming live. Don't forget, for some of us who are watching us right now, please get to the comment section and let's get your thoughts on some of these things. Okay. The WhatsApp portal is also open right now. 0700 903 9039. Again, 0700 903 9039. We'll get to open up the studio lines again. In fact, before I do that, an Abuja human rights lawyer, Pelumi Olajengbesi, also tackled the DSS over the continued detention of Bauer and, of course, Emefiele. He said that the DSS should charge Bauer to court for alleged offenses leveled against his office as EFCC boss, or release him to rejoin his family members instead of just hold it. Some people feel he's just been delayed. I mean, just get this thing going.
The thing is this: if we are investigating you, and we are not getting 100% results, and there are still areas we need to touch, why would we release you? For you to escape to Dubai or to go and hide somewhere in Brussels or something? They won't release you. Rather, they will follow the due process and the rule of law. They will go to court and get a court order to extend your duration of stay under their custody.
If we want to look at this issue of
It's lawful.
if you really want to look at this issue of investigation, I want to believe that investigation should start, according to the former president, from top to bottom. So it should start from him.
Start from who?
The president, the former president of Nigeria.
Well, it depends. If you have any evidence against him, bring it. You find out that he delegates authority and responsibility. So if there is no direct evidence that he committed any offense or he sent you to go and commit the offense, and you are committing and saying that Oga say, where is the proof that Oga say? Bring the paper where Oga signed and say, oh, you're going to do this or do that.
It's under his watch, under his government.
Well, everybody should carry his cross. So that is the language. If you commit, waiting for the umbrella to cover you, you're wasting your time. When you commit and the evidence is glaring, the thing will just collapse on your head.
Are you exonerating someone here now?
I'm not exonerating anybody. But if you have your grounds or you have the evidence against the man, bring it out now. Bring it out. That's the truth of the matter. So, people, you see, the thing about Nigeria is that sometimes we don't tell ourselves the truth. It's like, let me put it this way, the man had too much trust and confidence on his subordinates. Some will see it in two sides. Some will see it that either that he's too weak, or two, that he was so naive that we are playing Ludo over his head without him knowing it. And above all, too, it could even be his health challenge. He may have been told by a doctor, don't work yourself too hard. You've been having health challenge. Delegate these things. Let your subordinates and trusted allies do the thing. Maybe those subordinates and trusted allies are the ones that betrayed the man. I say maybe it is possible. So if you had taken advantage that your principal or your boss has given you leverage to do things, and then you go overboard, when the chips are down, you carry the cross. You will now want to drag the man. If you have evidence, bring it out so that they can drag in the man.
If an administration is to be probed,
yes,
how do we start probing? Okay, maybe that should be the question. How do we start probing an administration?
It is based on the wrongdoings that they provide before you. That's where you start. So the wrongdoings, if it has not touched the top, how can you go and hold the top? Somebody
comes and prepares a document.
Yes.
They say, okay, Mr. President, we need to borrow these, and he gives you, and you accentuate it.
Yes.
And he comes back after months.
Wait, now, he said you brought for borrowing. He has sense. You borrow. Did he tell you how to disburse? Is it not you that has said you are going to disburse it this way, that way, that way? It's okay, go ahead. Then in the end, maybe you convert or divert maybe 90% of what you have borrowed. So how are you going to hold a man? Is there any direct? The thing is that.
Are you saying that there is no way we can probe the former president?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
But get your evidence before you do that, so that you don't ridicule yourself or ridicule the system. Get the evidence, then you can go ahead and do that. You see, those commander-in-chiefs we've had in the past, they are very clever. They have been very, very clever. That's why it is really difficult to trace some of those wrongdoings directly to them. They will give you responsibilities to go and perform. So if some of those people are clever, they would have toed the line and do the right thing. And even block all the leakages. But you find out that some people, human beings being what they are naturally, they will see the thing and say, hey, this is an opportunity. Should be the man there on top. He's on the last floor. He won't even know what is going on. He has given me powers. So it's time for enjoyment. You begin to butcher the thing the way you like. So when the chips are down, you are going to carry the cross.
You remember when Emefiele was the way and manner Emefiele handled the issue of the Naira.
Yes.
The currency, all of the change and all of that. Yes. He came out to say that the president gave him a go-ahead. In fact, on some few occasions, he ran to meet the president.
Yes.
You know, and like, Mr. President, they are after me, oh, come and help me, oh, and all of that. And he would confidently come out to tell Nigerians, the president gave me his backing.
You see, the thing is this, the way the government works, when he runs to the president, is he briefing the president 100% of what is going on? That's the question.
So are you saying that the president has just been kept in the dark since 2015? And
Well,
he's just signing, keep signing, and doing all of this and that. We are here suffering
no.
after his administration.
No, that's not it. The thing is that they have Council of State meeting. They have Federal Executive Council meeting. And every ministry, department, or agency that is required to be part of those meetings will come up with memos. They will write beautiful memos. They will use their, what do you call them, PAMSEC or DGs and so on and so forth to package very beautiful thing. They'll come and read out. Everybody will clap for them. Then it will now be a consensus of opinion that, okay, all these proposals you've made, it will be for the good of the economy, yes, approved, or not approved, or 50% are approved. They'll give it back to you. The man that brought it with his lackeys behind have a different motive. That thing they have written, how are they going to implement it? Are they going to be wholehearted in being fair and doing justice to the memo they've written? The answer is capital no at the end of the day. Everybody is thinking of, what am I going to carve out? This is a national cake. It's an opportunity for us to carve. That's why you hear of projects that has been approved, huge sums that has been committed for the project, and at the end of the day, you get there, there's nothing on the ground. And already they say the funds have been disbursed. So where are the funds? So it would take a president that will stamp his feet on the ground. And they will say, this man too, they disturb himself. That's the type of president we need. Somebody that will be, that will lock the valves, tie the nose, tie it up, lock the safe, hold the key. So by the time you come and say, okay, this is approved, he will have to do either direct supervision or put honest people that will supervise to be sure that the money is being put for the purpose it is meant for. Yes, and you cascade it like that down the line. That was exactly what Obasanjo did. That made you have a buoyant economy. And when he was leaving, he left over $62 billion in our foreign reserve. And that was what saved the country when we had that economic meltdown between 2008 and 2009 that crashed a lot of economies. It didn't really have much impact on Nigeria. But unfortunately for us, subsequent regimes, when Yar'Adua was there, he still maintained. But as soon as he died, maybe the man that took over was not prepared. He never even expected to see himself being in that position. So maybe he was doing tutelage to understand the dynamics and workings of government, while others were plotting on how to begin to butcher the thing. To the extent that by the time he finished his 5 years, we had little or nothing in the foreign reserve because it was complete conspicuous consumption. And that was a time oil had its peak in terms of price. They were selling 1 barrel of crude between $120 and $150 a barrel. It has never been heard of in the history of oil pricing. And above all, they were even hitting over 2 million barrels a day that was being exported. And as at this time I was telling you, the question was, what did they do with all those money? They even had excess crude accounts. The governors went to court and challenged it. Had their way. They say, scatter everything now. They were not thinking of tomorrow. May God forgive all of them that we are in position of authority that dragged us where we are today.
All right. Let's hold it. Let's leave it there. 0700 903 903 903. I hope you are ready to talk to us this afternoon. Quickly, okay? The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. If you're calling, make sure you keep it 60 seconds. Okay? 60 seconds is just okay for everyone. I beg you. All right? But then you can also use the WhatsApp. Talk to us via WhatsApp. The number is 0700 903 9039. Again, 0700 903 9039. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. And of course, with me is former Commissioner of Police, Chuksenwong is his name. And we are doing this together. He's helping us understand some of these things. Okay, quickly, I'll get to read up your comments, okay? Those watching via YouTube, I'll read up your comments, okay? So keep them coming in. Please just drop your comments and go to the comment section, drop your comments, and we'll get there and read all of them. Thank you so much. Let's head straight to the phone lines right now, and let's get your views. Like I said, just keep it 60 seconds, and hey, be very, very civil as much as you can. Be very, very civil. All right, let's go there. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Chidi.
Welcome, Chidi. Good afternoon.
Hello, my name is Chidi. Good afternoon.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. I just want.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling from Surulere.
Okay.
I just want to thank you for this your program and before you give us audience of some pains we have in our hearts. Well, since I have a short time, I just want to ask your guest here that you're talking about the law of agency. That law says that whatever the subordinate does, agent does, the principal is being held responsible for that. So a president or a leader who appoints somebody, you must appoint somebody you can vouch for. Whatever the person does, you have a you there for it. The result of that is done. That's by the way. I want to talk about something that what Asai Nakomo is doing and threatening the Igbos. You see, when the Igbos say they want to have content, Nigeria is even contributing to that. Imagine if what that noise, that nonsense is being made by any of the Igbos, any Igbo man. By now they've arrested him and they will talk about it. They have seen nothing. Look at what MC Olumo did during the election. The threat you get to Igbos, nothing happened. Now, imagine when we're growing up small, we used to dread 17 men, especially in the military. But look at what happened to this little girl of jam issue. Our whole so-called DSS we are going to go arrest that little girl. You see, Nigeria is just wired in a way that they don't want this culture to work. They don't want it to work. So let them keep doing whatever they are doing. We go tired of our officials or leaders, or it's tired with the masses, and we will hit the street, and whatever the country will turn out to be, it will be that way. It needs to be so much.
Thank you.
Honestly, Nigerians are the best people who live in the whole world. Because we give ourselves life, we give ourselves security, we give water, we give ourselves everything. Yes, government doesn't give us anything. Yes, they keep drilling us. They keep drilling us. That is the government. They have increased fuel. They have increased light. They have added extra money on the car. Nothing for these people. And we are all happy. It's calm. It's good. See, the man in your guys is a policeman. He cannot give you. He cannot say those. He's diplomatic about it. So, maybe when you bring some people, you bring most of people who want him there. God bless you.
Thank you so very much for calling. Like I said, please keep it 60 seconds, okay? So we can talk. All right, let's get to talk to this person. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Judy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, CP.
Good afternoon.
This is Chicks calling from UK.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so pathetic what is happening, you know. And CP, I don't blame you. You are economic with the truth. I don't blame you. You know, the fact is, right? Nigeria is an ungoverned space. Let us say it as it is. Let us say it as it is. Nigeria is an ungoverned space, because you cannot tell me, CP, that a human being can come out to challenge the authorities. I mean, what are we saying? If we allow,
Hello?
if they allow Nnamdi Kanu to continue, others will spring up. That is the fact. That is the fact. You know, what is happening in Nigeria is very dangerous. I'm telling you. Mark my word, it is very dangerous because people are watching, people are looking. You know, you can't leave some people and continue to arrest some people. One day, it will die, whether we like it or not. I am here to say it as it is. You know, look, just like the last caller said, right? A little girl, that, you know, it happens with JAM. What is the DSS business with JAM? And they remember, I asked you, CP, last time, why was our DSS or DSA, whatever they call themselves, why have they not gone into inquiring what happened on our election day? And I still remember your answer. But it just happened now. The little girl, right, knowing or unknowingly, I'm not fending for her, right? Why don't they wait till they finish investigation with the JAM? Just like they allowed what is it called? iNEC to do whatever they care to do. And right now, what they did was to pick up the girl, destroy her. I mean, it's so pathetic. But one day we can't continue like this. One day it will happen. We can't continue like this. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for calling. Just endeavor to keep your comments very, very civil. I beg you. Okay? Thank you. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Oh, so sorry about that. Maybe you should call back if you can. Thank you. Let's go this way. Good afternoon to you. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Ambrose is calling from Port Harcourt.
All right.
Yes, the problem I have with our system, the Nigerian system, is that I think Nigeria is the only country, the number one country, where the president, the immunity of the president remains, even if he leaves office. Check from the history of this country. The immunity remains. That's why they are always innocent as long as they have left office. It's only the governors that they drag around. The EFCC can drag around. They don't stop their commissioners. But when it comes to the federal government, they can drag the ministers, they can drag their aides, but the president will always be free. Nobody disturbs him. Check out the United States, for instance. All the trials Trump has been facing since he left office, can it happen in Nigeria? The comments Trump made that made his supporters to go and attack the parliament. If it's in Nigeria, they would have arrested the leaders of the people that led to that parliament. Nobody would have touched the president. But the person that was being tried for that movement is Trump. Can it happen in Nigeria? That is the thing. In the case of Emefiele, the president in the cast, when he reintroduced the 200 naira, made it clear that whatever Emefiele is doing, that he is backing him, that he is in support of him, that he is supporting him. Then why are they disturbing Emefiele and let the president who backed him all his deeds? Why? Okay, check out Bawa. Everybody that has become the EFCC chairman in Nigeria has been messed up, from Ribado to the last. Each of them has been messed up. And the people that have been causing all these problems for them are those who are standing trial, because none of them has been indicted. I remember Magu shouting over his voice that if anybody knows where he has bought house, whatever he has bought, let them say nobody. But at the end of the day, all these guys that are the politicians that are standing trial, we push them out, they will go and detain them, they mess them up. If I have a relation who they want to appoint for that EFCC something, I will simply advise him, don't go. Because they must mess you up. As far as these politicians are concerned, they must always mess you up.
Thank you so much.
The man accusing of...
Hello? Yeah. Thank you so much.
The man that accused him... Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Well, let's talk to some other persons, okay? Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, VOP.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, this is easy calling.
All right.
Yeah, as regard, I heard the story of that little girl about the jam issue. From the look of things and from the scenario, the girl, she doesn't look like somebody who can hack the uh, the site of jam. If there is any issue concerning that girl's results, I guess is it should be the fault of jam, because jam, they are the body and they are the owner of that site. No group or whatsoever is accessing, or whosoever is accessing their website. So that girl now, is they play on that girl's head is just too heavy. And if they find out that last the girl, the charges they put on that girl's head is really not, she's not guilty of it, I want that girl, whosoever will stand for that girl, should sue jam. Because one, they have made her to go through emotional and depressed. They have spoiled her name and all of that. So if anybody should hack that girl's account, if anything should happen to Jam's site, it shouldn't be the girl, it should be the Jam office themselves. So in that aspect, I would say they really fail woefully. So, and again, DSS that they are calling on that small girl, DSS shouldn't be the right source or the right department to handle this case. DSS is too big to handle this case.
All right.
It's police
Thank you.
that handle this.
Yeah.
So they, right. So in fact,
Thank
this
you so very
country,
much.
I don't know
Thank
what
you.
the people are.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you for talking to Ross. Hello, good afternoon to you. If you're calling, please kindly keep it 60 seconds, okay? So we can hear from some other persons. I beg you, okay? Just 60 seconds. 0700 903 903 903. Okay, let's see. YouTube community, don't worry, I'm coming, huh? I'm coming to take your comments, okay? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. My name is Peter.
All right.
Okay, thank you. You see, I and my family, if President Bola Tinubu can use his 4 years in the office to make sure that he sends a method to life imprisonment for his 4 years tenure is one of the best achievements to me. Emefiele have Buhari is a driver, Emefiele is a conductor. Buhari is, as a driver, he cannot also conduct the motor at the same time. That is why he invited Emefiele to conduct his vehicle. But then Emefiele believes that he's wiser than the driver. He destroyed the vehicle, he destroyed the property of the passenger, including the passenger. As far as I'm concerned, if Tinubu don't achieve anything for 4 years, but he sent the message to prison. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Okay, thank you so very much. Quickly, let's touch on some of the messages we have on not YouTube yet. Let's do WhatsApp first. All right. Okay. Good afternoon. Ikamiju, the Comrade Peterson says that there is no more things to be discussed. The case has been concluded. The EU report has summarized it all. Whoever that wants to come to equity will come with clean hands. My brother, there is nothing clean with APC. Honestly, EU took their time and was not biased in this one. Evil cannot reign forever. Nigerians know who won the election, and the man is gentle man that does not make noise. Is a gentle man that does not make noise. Okay, thank you for that that particular comment. And this person says the president cannot overhaul iNEC because he benefited from the fraudulent election and will be an irony to sack the person that assisted him to office. Kenneth saying that. And he also added, Chinese government is not here for the good of Nigeria or Nigerians. The Chinese government came in to make Nigeria economy to be fully dependent on Chinese government's greed. Okay, that's what Kenneth is saying there. This is Pale Egu from Texas. He says that the selective justice system and the selective implementation of the laws is what is truncating growth and progress. No one Nigeria should feel he is above the law. If we are practicing democracy like the United States, then no one should be seen above the law, just like in the US. All right, let's see if we can take more comments now. Greetings, Judy and CP. From the way CP, what are you trying to say? From the way the CP is talking, that is why there is no consequences. How can you sign for a project and don't allow or don't follow up to see if what you approved is carried out? Buhari is my honest assessment, or in my honest assessment, failed woefully. Thanks, Orji from Surulere. Yeah, sent in that one. Like I said, just make sure it's brief enough, okay? So I can read it out as brief as possible. Okpe Kende from Ijegun says, I like your guest analysis objectively. Which states did election wasn't violent or rigged? Can your guest name one state? All politicians are riggers, but the best rigger emerges. On China advising the president, it's a welcome idea, as long as the country can come out of its quagmire. Why would Yerima be playing with the sensibilities of Nigerians by introducing dialogue with bandits? We know what we know. This same man married a young lady, which the Sharia law accommodates up there in the north. But if it were in the south, the penal code will be applied. On Asarido Kubo, he knows what we don't know, because 85% of oil in the region is owned by the northerners. I believe a process of reformation is on the way. So says that person over there. Okay, let me see if I can touch one more, then I get back to the phone lines now, then before I come to the YouTube community. This person is saying, good afternoon, Mr. J. Like I have always said here on your program, our country is playing all the acts in the cinematography of the Book of Animal Farm, where the character of Napoleon was taken out and arresting the same animals he has promised liberation. Example is our DSS in their manner. Well, he who read the book knows how it all ended. Okay. Thanks, Asemota sent in that from Italy. Thanks so much, Asemota. Okay, let's get back to the phone lines quickly now. Hello, good afternoon. Are you there? Okay, let's talk to this person. Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sir Jude.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Destiny from Mission.
Welcome, Destiny.
So, you see what my contribution to this discussion is this. You see, this our country. We are not ready to tell ourselves the truth. And the thing is that there is no way you can start by a building by roofing. You will start with the foundation. On the issue of Emefiele and the Buhari, do you believe me that Buhari have not changed his mind on the issue of that Naira resign till he left office? Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So by the presidency coming out to tell us that Buhari is not the one that instructed Emefiele not to obey the Supreme, just trying to cover things up. Where Buhari stood was, we are going to spend 200 only till April. So I don't know. We are not telling us the truth. So if Tinubu really wants to work for Nigeria, he should pro Buhari. Is the foundation of the past 8 years. So that's my contribution. God bless you, Sir CP.
Thank you very much. Bless you too.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Let's see if we can take this comment. All right. Let's leave that first. To YouTube now. Let me see if I can touch on some few messages here. Blessing is saying good afternoon to the CP. Tony is saying we are looking at another form of state capture this time through the use of violence by non-state actors called Asari Dokubo. Is Nigeria not yet a failed state? Is a question he's asking there. It says it went for that to say those proposed or propping up Asari Dokubo should watch the drama in Sudan rather, and see the danger in denigrating the armed forces of a nation in favor of non-state actors and thugs. For all I care, Asari Dokubo is a criminal and should be threatened or should be treated as such. ThenOvat Monday says Nigeria has been. No, I can't take that. You can't say that now. Come on, come on, come on. All right, quick. Back to the phone lines before we wrap up now. Good afternoon. If you want to call me, move away from your radio set or just turn down the volume so we can hear each other. I'll take maybe one or two more calls and we run for today. Good afternoon to you.
Judy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
CPR, greet you. Morning, sir.
Good day, my brother.
Welcome. The only thing I wanted to say, my name is Uzo, calling from Lagos.
Okay.
Uzo, yes, Uzo. Nigerian wahala is too much because we don't tell ourselves the truth. If you have opportunity to become minister, you close the chapter of the truth and face the robbery. After they say they are there for us, they want to fight corruption. While they are for corruption we are having. Now they are talking about increasement of salary. The civil servant, have it? What of the private sector? They are talking about tribunal. What is happening in the tribunal? After all these evidences and otherwise, what have Igbo people done in this country? Let everybody see the truth. Too. Truly, you are here now as a journalist, and you are seeing that what is happening in this country. You are trying to secure a job. Yes, I know that. What is happening in this country is it good? Look at what happened to a child who wrote a jam. They are now trying to formulate it and turn it upside down. How can that a child go and hack results? They could look into it.
Thank you.
Are we in Nigeria? Are we in another country, please? Yeah, anytime people are calling, you people are allowed to shut them down. Because when they are talking as if paying them their mind, you know, not allow them to free their mind. That's my comment, please. Make us try to do something. Not only to allow us to talk. At the end of the day, no one will be implementing. No one will be implementing. Let us tell ourselves the truth.
Thank you so much.
This man will start talking. Excuse me, I'll cut out.
Okay.
Darlington, he'll be speaking all through all the things I've been saying. No one have been implemented. Every day we'll see another thing happening in Nigeria. Every day we'll see another thing happening in Nigeria. This is how we're going to continue as one Nigeria. People are dying inside you. Hunger. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. CP, can we wrap up now? Can you just summarize everything you've heard from some of these callers and just wrap up for us?
My position is to urge Nigerians to exercise patience and tarry on. At the end of the day, whether it is the issue before election tribunal or issue of subsidy or no subsidy, issue of galloping inflation and so on and so forth, we'll get through all those things. Let it not dampen their spirit. And at the same time, you know, when situations are getting out of hand, the level of crime or criminality goes high too. So people should be security conscious and be sure they are safe wherever they find themselves. And above all, nobody should think of taking laws into their hands to enter the streets to do any form of protests. This is not the right time for it. Let us advise ourselves and be cautious and follow the rules and the laws. That's the bit I'm telling you.
Thank you so very much, CP. Appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
My name is Jude. It can be Jude. Something big will be happening at this time tomorrow, okay? From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Something big tomorrow, all right? I just hope you catch me live again here tomorrow. I do this every weekday, okay? From Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Or if you don't mind, 12:30 to 3 p.m., okay? I'm always here, we talk. But then, like I told you, something big will be happening here tomorrow. Please do join me on Instagram or Facebook, all of that. I am Ikamijude on social media. IKAMIJUDEH on social media. IKAMIJUDEH. One word. All right. Do it to follow VOP across all socials also. That is at VOP 903 FM. I'll be here tomorrow. Thank you so very much to those who participated, all of those who called in, those who couldn't call. A whole lot of calls I couldn't take, of course. Thank you and thank you again. Please, we'll talk more tomorrow. Like I said, something big is happening here, or will happen here tomorrow. Thank you. I'm out of here. Lagos, good afternoon to you.